a you have to be a strong person to withstand the level of pressure that comes with this. People are going to question everything that you do. People are going to come after you, which is also why, for me, you got to have your stuff in check. What I mean by that is when I do when I go on the air, you're not going to catch me slipping. You're not going to catch me slipping. And the reason I say that is because I'm not going to throw something out. I don't have my facts together. And see, a lot of folks do that. And I bust people all the time on the air. And if you lie, I will bust you. And in fact, my philosophy is very simple. And I say it all the time. And that is, I say, if you do good, I'll talk about you. If you do bad, I'll talk about you. At the end of the day, I'm going to talk about you. And so what happens is, which is very interesting, is that, see, people, a lot of folks don't do their research. And then what will happen is they'll go on the air and they think they can get over on you. But that ain't working with me. And so I'll catch you in a lie, and now you stuck, and I'll say, you know, you're lying. You know what you say is not true. And see, and this is where knowledge matters. This is where having the ability to do instant recall of information sets you apart from everybody else. This is where remembering facts, details. This is where matters in a critical way. Again, I've been on the air with people, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, you know you lying. Like, why are you lying? And what happens is they don't think you're going to catch them. I tell you a really good one. A man, Michael Singleton, was on the air, and he's a black Republican, and he was poor Michael. He was we were talking about Ben Carson, and I said Ben Carson has no this is when Ben Carson was running for president. I said Ben Carson has no HBCU plan. Roland, that's not true. Yes, Dr. Carson does. It's on his website. I said, really? I said, I checked. I didn't see it. He like, oh no, it's there. I said, so on my show, I have an HDMI connector lying underneath my desk, so I can plug up my iPad and I can pull up stuff live on air straight from my iPad. I said, well, I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish talking, and while you talking, I'm gonna be checking to see. So I'm literally pulling up Dr. Carson's website, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm looking at, and I'm going through, and then I go to the search box. I type in HBCUs, nothing. I said, Michael, there's nothing on this page about HBCU plan. Oh, yes, it's got to be there. I said, man, I just typed HBCU in the search box. I just start pounding him. I'm killing him on the air. I'm killing him. And it got so bad that the next 4 or 5 times he came back on the show, I would say, don't start lying like you did about Ben Carson's HBCU plan. And I was drilling him. Same thing happened in 2012 when we were on CNN, and I specialize in housing when I covered county government and city government in Austin. And I wrote a piece about how Mitt Romney does not care about housing. And so we were on the air. Republican National Convention was that Monday, I think. And so I'm on the air, I'm debating John, and then I said Mitt Romney has no housing plan or something like that. So John King goes, Roland, that's not true. Mitt Romney has a housing plan. I said, No, he doesn't. Now, I had just gone a week and went through his entire website page by page. And John kept going, well, no, he has a housing plan. I'm like, John, no, he doesn't. Now, they're thinking, oh, but this is John King. You know, this is Mr. Magic Wall. And, oh, this man, oh, he's from Massachusetts. He knows. Well, hell, John was wrong. And so during the break, I put up my phone to quadruple whatever you want to check. I pulled it up. We came back on the air, and Ari Fleischer and I were debating. And I said, oh, Anderson, by the way, I checked during the break. Mitt Romney does not have a housing plan. So the point is, when I go on the air, I am prepared. I'm there. And if you lie, I can catch you in a lie because I've already done the research. I already have the knowledge. That's why, for all of y'all got to understand why reading matters. Why the ability to retain information. Don't ask me how I'm able to remember a lot of stuff, but I am. I remember I was on a debating on CNN. I was killing this dude, and the floor director, he goes, dude, where are you getting this stuff from? You're not even reading off your computer. And I said, 300 books a summer when I was a kid. I still read 7 to 9 books at one time. That's why you have to understand, Kathy Hughes coined this phrase, and she's the founder of Radio 1. She said, information is power. Those who have the information have power over those who don't. And that's why it matters. And so, if you lie, TV or radio, it's a good bet, I'm going to bust you. And I'm going to embarrass you really, really bad, too, when you lie. Because I'm going to call a lie a lie.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Martin. My name is Reginald B. Henderson. And before I proceed with any questions, I would just like to say thank you for being a positive role model, not only for me, but other African-American men and women as well.
Appreciate it.
So, the question I'm going to ask you is revolved around the work that you do. My question is...
I'm sorry, around what?
Around the field of work that you do as far as journalism.
Got it.
Has there ever been a time where your race prohibited you from getting a certain job or project that you desired?
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely. I was, when I was in college at Texas A&M University, College Station, Texas, I was interning there, and I was killing it. I mean, I ain't being arrogant. I was killing it. And they had a part-time weekend sports anchor job become available. Mind you, I'm a sophomore, junior. What was this year? This is 1990. So yeah, it was my sophomore year. It was 90, junior, 91. I was a senior. Graduated December 91. So, job becomes available. The sports director said, yo, Roland, easy. Assistant sports director said, yo, Roland should get this job. The 5 p.m. executive producer, the 6 and 10 p.m. executive producer, they all said one of the best interns we've ever had. Flat out. The news director is named Jeff Braun. Y'all gotta understand, I will call people out and I'm gonna use names and I'm not scared. Jeff Braun had a run. He was a news director and he was the main anchor. Well, years earlier, Jeff Braun had a run-in with some black guy who owned radio stations there in Bryan College Station, Hearn, which was a city near it. So Jeff Braun made it clear he would never hire another black man on air again. So Alice Brown, who was an investigative reporter there, later went to law school, Alice took me for a walk. And Alice told me point blank, Jeff not going to hire you. Jeff is not going to hire you. Now, and she laid it out. She said, we all know you are the absolute best candidate. He ain't gonna hire you. He didn't. They hired a guy who I went to college with, John Oakley, nice guy. John works in Omaha, Nebraska. I think it's Omaha. He's in Nebraska. John follows me on Twitter. Nice guy. I killed John. Couldn't even compete. And I remind everybody at that station to this day what happened. And I had a guy who worked there, a man, Steve. And Steve said, well, Roland, things have turned out great for you. I said, oh, no. I said, let me be perfectly clear. I was going to succeed. I was not going to allow that to limit my opportunity. I said, but let me remind you of something. That decision impacted my career. And see, what happens is people think, well, oh, yeah, but you overcame. Let me ask this a different way. Could I be further and bigger in my career had I not gotten screwed for that job? That was a job that paid. That job had a financial impact. Not getting that job had a financial impact on when I was in college. See, I don't want to hear from anybody when they say, oh, but you've been able to, to go beyond that. But I shouldn't have to. See, don't tell me we're all created equal. But then I know without a doubt I was the best person for the job, and I didn't get it. And when they told me why I was not going to get it, that happened. That was at the outset of my career. I quit as an intern. I said, no way in the hell I'm going to work here. And honestly, look, I don't forget anything. You can say, do I hold grudges? Hell yeah, I do. And I'm telling you right now, when I remember running into Jeff Braun. So I graduated December 1991 from Texas A&M. I started my job 10 days later at the Austin American-Statesman. And I had volunteered, and they said, Roland, they asked me to be a part of their team to cover the Republican National Convention. So here I was, 7 months out of college, and I'm on our team covering Republican National Convention, something journalists been in the business 10, 15, 20 years would love to do. So I ran into Jeff. Oh, Roland, how you doing? Doing great. Here comes the convention. After only 7 months. Looked him dead in his eye. And then he sat there. I'm like, no, hell no, I ain't forgot. And so, yeah, there have been, I know, so there's without a doubt, I got screwed for that job because I was black. There have been other jobs. I remember when I was in Fort Worth. Y'all can understand, it's not even a question of not getting a job, but it's also, do you get promoted? So I'll give an example. When I was at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, I was in Austin 13 months. The Star-Telegram hires me to be a City Hall reporter. A man, Ken Bunting, God rest his soul, Ken hired me as a brother, assistant managing editor. Talk about getting screwed. He should have been the executive editor of that paper, and we chose Debbie Price, who had never been. Let me tell y'all something. She had never been an editor on any level in her entire life. This man had been a city editor, a state editor, assistant managing editor, bureau chief, had done it all. Got passed over when Rich Connor passed over and picked her. She was a columnist. She went from columnist to executive editor, vice president. Now, I remember when they announced her hiring, Ken was looking at me, and he had this sort of smile on his face, and he was like, it's okay. And he was like, play it right. Hell no. Did I congratulate her? Nope. Walk right past her. Because I'm not going to congratulate you because you're a white woman who got the job. You should not have gotten the job when the black man was undeniably qualified. So I remember we were in the newsroom. Ken had left. He had gone to take an over paper in Seattle. And so I was talking to my editor one day, Kay Northcott, and I told y'all I ain't got a problem calling names. And I said something, and Kay said, well, you know, you need to get your production up. I said, get my production up. She said, so I stood up. Exactly what I did. I stood up, and I walked around this little area behind my desk in a circle. And so she was kind of like, uh-oh, black man mad. And so she said, Anthony, get this. That's all I got. I got it. So she goes, she said, let's go into the office. I said, oh, you're right. You want to go into the office. I said, but give me a second. I'll be right there. So what happened was I go to my desk and I print out a couple of sheets of paper. And I walk into the office, and before I sit down, I literally, exactly what I did. I walked in, I went, you might want to read that first. So what I printed out was, I kept a tally of all of the stories I wrote, how many I wrote per week, my average per week, how many stories I contributed to. Then I had my story count from the previous year, so I can show did I work fewer days this year, but did more stories than last year. So then Kay thought she could outsmart me. So she goes, well, we don't measure production by how many stories you do. Well, how in the hell you measure production? I said, that's cool. Turn to page 2. I had all of my stories broken down by how many ran on the front page, how many ran on the metro page, and how many ran inside the different sections. And so I said, now, 60+% of my stories are run on the front page. I said, you're one of my 2 editors. That means if a story ran and wasn't a quality story, you're responsible because you my editor. I said, can we cut to the chase? This ain't got nothing to do with production. Y'all had a meeting yesterday where my name came up. I said, and that's why you having this conversation. She looked at me. I said, oh, you didn't think I heard about y'all meeting? And so one of my white colleagues said, Roland, man, how do you have time to keep up with all that stuff? And I told her, her name was Jennifer. I said, Jennifer, you white. I said, I did. I said, Jennifer, you white. You have the luxury of coming to work thinking everything is okay. I'm a black man. I come to work thinking every day I might lose my job. I said, so I'm always prepared when somebody wants to question my production and my productivity. I said, Jennifer, I need you to understand. I said, what I do every day in my job, I'm going to take away all of your excuses. I'm going to take away, if you tell me you need to become a stronger feature writer, I'm going to get better feature writing. If you tell me I need to become a stronger breaking news writer, I'm going to get stronger. If you tell me I need to, whatever you say it is, I'm gonna say, what are my weaknesses? I'm going to fix my weaknesses. And so at the end of the day, if you don't give a brother the job, it's come down to one thing. You didn't want to give a brother the job. And likely because I'm black. And I need all y'all to understand, you hear the phrase, be twice as good. You take away somebody's excuses. If you come to work late, that's where they got you. If you yell and act a fool in the newsroom and you're insubordinate, that's where they got you. If your work is shoddy, that's where they got you. So you go down the line. Every place I've worked, when they give the employee manual, most people ignore that. Not me. I read the employee manual. I want to know what you know. If you try to use something against me, I want to know exactly what that is. And so that's how I've always done it. because I'm focused. My goal, understand, all of y'all have to understand. This is not a matter of who makes the most money. This is not a matter of how well known you are. It's not a matter of, oh, I want people to love me. I wake up every day wanting to be the best. Not so somebody could say, oh my God, you're so great and wonderful, you're the greatest. No. I want to figure out how to maximize all of me and to stretch me beyond where I think I can go. I just told y'all, I'm sitting in here messing around with the Edelkrone slider, and I got the pocket slider, and I got that tripod and the monopod, and got the travel jib, and 2 DLSRs, and 3 Canon XA25s. Right now, I'm live streaming our chat right now on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. I sat here and did it myself. I pushed myself to be great. It has nothing to do with anybody I'm trying to please. But if you try to deny me something because of my race, I'm going to give you hell. Because I'm going to take away all of your excuses. When I was at CNN, I would meet with Jim Walton, who was the worldwide CEO, and John Klein, who was the president of CNN US, every 3 months saying, I want to go visit our talent coaches. I want to sit down with them. Nobody else is doing that. I was like, yo, when I meet with the talent coaches, I want to know what am I doing good, what am I doing bad, what I need to work on. Am I talking too fast? Am I not fully enunciating? Am I projecting? What about my hand movement? What is it? I was pushing them constantly, and they were like, damn, why? I mean, he is on us. Yes, because my goal was to be a show host. I didn't want them to say, well, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. I took away the excuses. Now, here's the deal. Now, I filled in for shows. My ratings were good. I never got a show. They told me I wasn't going to get a weekend show. They tried to tell me it was because of the economy. I knew that was a BS lie. You know why? Because I brought my own advertiser to the table. I already had my own sponsor. Southwest Airlines, Kelleher out of Dallas said, Roland, we'll be your main sponsor. I brought my own money to the table. So they couldn't use that one. I'm like, okay, fine. TV One, we launched my own weekend show. I knew 3 years later I was ready to host my own daily show. I knew it. I knew in my spirit. Before I go to the next question, every single one of you need to understand this. You had better understand yourself better than anybody else. You better understand you're better than anybody else. You better understand exactly what are you good at, what are you not good at, what are you strong, what are you weak, so that when you negotiate, you negotiate from a position of strength, where you know yourself better than the other person. What that then does, it causes you to know what I need to work on, how to improve myself. My drive to be great has nothing to do with anybody else. I want to be able to tell God one day, you gave me this, and I took this, and I did all of this. And do I think I will ever get to a point where I am satisfied with the knowledge? Am I satisfied with what I've been able to do? The answer is no. Because there will always be something else that I don't know or want to learn, and that is what drives me every single day.
Mr. Martin, thanks so much. We're going to get our students signed in their next period. Thank you so much for taking this time. We know it's precious, and we appreciate that you shared it with us today.
Keep reading.
Thank you. One more hand, please, for Mr. RolandS.Martin.
All right, y'all take care.